I like that. And I love the part where it says, he even tells the disciples after, like, gather up the fragments that remain so that nothing is lost. God is not wasteful. He performed this miracle. Yes, he can perform it again. He can perform it every single
Right.
day. He didn't need to keep what he already did. But it just shows how thoughtful he is. Like, he's not bashful, or like,
Yeah.
he doesn't throw money out and, wipe it on the ground. Or
Right.
like, some people don't have a regard for money, but
Right.
he really, like, gather everything that was remaining, because there's still use for this.
Yeah.
Like, just because you have all been fed doesn't mean that, on our way back someone may not be hungry, or we can't bless someone else. So it shows that, like, he's blessed these people, and there's even more blessing for others. It's not just for you. I think that's also a part of it too.
That's true. That's completely true. Because in this season, I think that God has been really, like, you know, speaking to us to not be wasteful, especially when we go grocery shopping and when we, cook at home. So we try as much as possible to really clean it out. It doesn't mean that, like, we overeat. We really, do portion out our food, but it's like, don't let anything go to waste. And so I'm looking at it like, well, if the boy was able to give 5 loaves of bread and
Yeah.
2 fish, and at the end of it, there were 12 baskets remaining, which tells me that there's nothing little that I give to God that I'm not going to get back exceedingly more. Like,
Right.
that's just point number
Right,
one.
right.
Point number two, like you said, is God is not wasteful. So when God blesses you in excess, or whatever, however you want to define excess, it's not for you to spend it foolishly. It's for you to
Or waste
save
it or throw it away.
save
or,
it, and then reinvest it potentially. Because I'm doing the math. If I have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and I gave it over to Jesus, and then Jesus was able to multiply that to feed 5,000, and then 12 baskets are left over, what would happen if I take those 12 baskets, gave it back to Jesus again?
It's exponential.
How much more people can he feed? And then how much more will be left over? And so I think the lesson here is that, like, we should not break the cycle. And the fact that we have more doesn't mean that we
That's the
should
end.
wait. That's the end.
Yeah.
We can keep reinvesting, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about Jesus.